What's up, guys? Marvin here, and I'm in outside of Fort Wayne, Indiana. What's the name of the town?
Auburn, Indiana.
Auburn, Indiana.
Right on the fringe.
It looks, it kind of looks like. I'm gonna be honest with you. It looks like Wisconsin, like a little bit out this way. Small towns.
Yep.
See some churches kind of on this way, and you guys like Arby's a lot out here. I seen like a ton of Arby's, which is kind of wild. Which is probably
all the fast food places around here.
It's probably good though on like a work day.
Oh
like,
yeah,
you stop by and get some Arby's and whatnot. Not so great for working out, which I've seen a lot of your videos. You guys have been in the gym working on your fitness and being healthy, which we got to be out with what we're doing. But besides all that, man, you and I were kind of talking about branding videos and whatnot before we got on the video. Your guys' montages, Asphalt Authority's montages, have become like a staple, right? So I love to share them. I share them on my story just because I'm a geek about it, and the shots are tasty, the montages are tasty. Usually the beats are fire and whatnot. But when I say that, because you and I were on Blacktop Banter just impromptu, because when you and I first started to know each other, I was like, dude, your marketing is just fire. Like, and I'm like, you know what you're doing. How do you know what you're doing? If you haven't watched that episode, go back and watch that Blacktop Banter episode with me and Gerry, and you'll figure out how he knows and why he knows what he knows about marketing. But tell us a little bit about Asphalt Authority, if you would.
So, speak on the marketing. I think that's been huge for like the last 3 years, just how fast we've grown. I've always been a sales and marketing guy. Went to school, had a sales and marketing degree, business administration, stuff like that. I like to think like my client does. Like, I think, what does my client like to see?
Right.
So everything I put out, all my TV commercials, all my radio ads, everything I do, I'm thinking from like what would look good from a client's perspective.
Okay.
Which can also be bad because sometimes you don't want to. What you like is not necessarily what your client wants.
That's true, I guess.
But like, I just try to think of what would look cool, what would look sexy. Like what drone shots would look good, what music is catchy. Why would someone want to call us and go with us? Make the parking lots look as beautiful as they can.
One thing I know about your shots though is like if I was around here, I always get a good drone shot, so I recognize the property if I lived here. Right. And then I get to see your guys' craftsmanship. So there's like the old selfie videos like, hey guys, we're here at so-and-so doing this. Those work out great, but you don't always have that. You don't have people that are personable in front of the camera. But when I see the montages, if I lived here, I'd be like, I know that place.
Yes.
Right. And then I see your guys' craftsmanship and your work, which is a great design for the montages and whatnot. But so right here, just outside Fort Wayne in the surrounding areas and whatnot, what all do you guys do when it comes to services?
Sure. So we originally started the company, seal coat, crack fill, stripe. Started residential, all commercial. Now we're starting to get into municipality work.
Okay.
So doing a lot of parks, a lot of trails, a lot of road rubbering.
Yeah. Which
is I see a real future for that for us. We can be really competitive at it. We have the machines to do it, the labor force to do it.
Mm-hmm.
We just like it. I mean, it's some people don't get a lot of fulfillment out of rubbering roads. I love it. The guys like it. It's one of the benefits too is it extends our season.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So, your seal coat season is limited to 50 degrees and rising, if you're following the specs and whatnot. So we were able to, keep the guys working until November 19th.
And say you can do rubber until the snow flies, right?
Absolutely. Yep. And then, we have some really good contacts with the paving companies in town too. So to answer your question, we do not pave. Yeah. However, we work and subcontract all that out with some
same as us.
Yeah, very nice contractors in this area. So we stripe late into the year. And then, I was looking at my phone maybe a few days ago, and it pops up memories from like the year or two before. Yeah. It was like 60 degrees a year ago.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So it's like, in a perfect world, we'd like to get started in mid-March, but we'll see. Yeah. So we have a lot of roads to a contract from last year that's getting extended. So yeah. Just got to knock those out and get started on some parks. So,
what about like your seal coat equipment, seal coat trucks? We see the big one back here behind us. Tell us a little bit about what you're outfitted with.
Yeah, so we have 2 tanks we use. This one was a tack truck at one point, so it's a pretty huge tank. You can legally fit 1,650 gallons in it, but you could probably put 1,700 in it.
Yeah.
And then we have another 700 over here. So. We're definitely set to do bigger parking lots if we need to.
And all your striping's done in-house?
All the striping is done in-house. We have a very talented team.
So you keep the trailers loaded up, line drivers, or lazy liners, whatever you got to get behind it.
Line drivers and fancy lights and all that cool stuff.
Dude, that's cool. And auto layout, you guys use auto?
You know what? We don't.
Yeah,
we're old school. Chalk
we don't
company,
either.
Man. We like the chalk, and
Eli's not going to let me get away with it for very long. I got a video of him and Chad Jung at Pavex, and Chad Jung was showing him how auto layout works, and I got a video of Eli, the light bulb moment when all of a sudden he went, oh, he looks over at the camera and he's like, oh, this is awesome. Immediately he comes back. He's like, why don't we have this?
Dude, those lines are straight. If you follow that
crazy.
dial on the little shadow box,
yeah,
those are some nice lines.
It's crazy. Well, we keep seeing some of these projects that you guys are putting out. You and I are fortunate enough to be friends and close enough that I know that you guys keep submitting for pavement awards, and you guys are coming runner up. And when you get to like, I'm fortunate enough to be on that board, and when you get to like which ones you're going to choose, like you're splitting hairs. Sometimes it's preference, sometimes it's certain little things here and there, and the margins are so thin. But I would say like a lot of times you'll see people that will win the award and then they don't put out that type of caliber of work again to even be in the running. So for you guys to be consistently putting up work that's like right there at the top tier is a big statement to say. What do you think, like the Asphalt Authority, like 2025, 2026, like what do you see coming up in the future?
Sure. Well, first of all, thank you very much, man.
Yeah.
Because those awards are really cool. We take a lot of pride in them. Everyone that works on the projects, from ownership down to every guy working on the project. So
yeah,
definitely exciting. As far as the future goes, we really want to have the market of commercial seal coating in our area. That's a big focus for us.
Yeah.
Again, municipal crack filling is going to be another one. We want more contracts in that.
Mm-hmm.
Extend our season, start earlier.
Mm-hmm.
We bought a second striping trailer. We have right now 7 stripers. So we're ready to do as much striping as possible. So that's a big focus for us.
You're going to get into long lining eventually, dude. If you keep doing the crack filling municipal work, they'll start asking, hey, can you do the line striping?
That thermoplastic and multi-component is a nice lucrative area too. And
it's wild.
It's not a lot of people do that.
No.
So that's something maybe in the future. But as far as the next couple of years, really building out our partnerships with the paving companies around us, having better relationships there. And as far as what we're doing, seal coating, municipal crack fill, and just working on that stuff.
Dude, I think it's a testament to kind of be able to see your guys' growth, leaning into really what you're really good at. I was just having a conversation with somebody on the way over here about separators, and like you can there's a few choices for sealer, there's a few choices for crack filler, whatever. But what separates whether somebody just pays for me to do that versus paying for their peace of mind tonight, for me to come back and check on the work, for me to be there if they text me or call me, for them to be able to come to our shop and see me and drink coffee with me or whatever, that's really what you're paying for, right? Because if you're paying for the service, it's a fraction of it. And I could charge you for just that, but you're not going to get everything else. And that's the same kind of thing a lot of competitors do. The difference is people who make a difference and not only like get paid a premium, but also provide that extra service are few and far between. And that's a big separator. And we see that a lot with you guys. Where can we like check in on Asphalt Authority? Because I do it most of the time on Instagram, but then I know personally I see you and follow you on LinkedIn. So kind of give us an idea where we can check up.
Sure. So all the social media accounts for Asphalt Authority are going to be, Instagram at Asphalt Authority, Facebook, TikTok, which who knows what's going on.
Dude, I have no idea. I just keep posting, bro.
That's funny. We're on TikTok. We're on YouTube. We have a LinkedIn, all that stuff. Just type in Asphalt Authority.
Yeah.
And then my personal page, which I usually don't add people on. However, if you're a contractor and you add me, love to talk to you.
Yeah.
Shoot me a message.
You gotta be careful adding any and everybody on LinkedIn, because you'll get people that are like trying to sell you insurance or marketing all.
And that's one of my gripes about LinkedIn. I open up LinkedIn and I probably have 200 unread messages.
Yeah, and I'm like, cool, maybe this is something. It's not. It's somebody from way away. And, I don't like that they can just like, it's literally feels like they can open the door to your business and say, hey, I'm over here doing this.
Yeah.
And I gripe about it. I'd love to end with like a piece of advice. So, what would be like one piece of advice or something that you've experienced that has been really good, what people should look into if they're getting into the game?
That's a great question. not prepared for that. So I'm going to spit this off the dome.
I like it.
I would say people are very nervous when they start to go all in. A lot of people I've heard will start a business, be part-time, or maybe have a full-time job. I'm not saying to be fiscally irresponsible, but when you have a backup plan and a backup net, it can prevent you from really meeting where you can be in that season.
Yeah, you got to risk it a little bit.
So I started my business during COVID. My wife was 6 months pregnant. I left the hospital the day my son was born to go seal coat driveways.
Yeah.
Started the business like that. I didn't have a backup plan. So put yourself in an uncomfortable situation that you can grow.
And execute.
Execute. Second thing is, just because a parking lot looks big, you eat an elephant one bite at a time.
Yeah.
If you're really doing this to make money, eventually you need to do parking lots. Driveways are great. It's a great way to build your business, get referrals, yard signs. I'm not saying anything wrong with that. But if you're in this to make money, it's a volume game. You want big parking lots. Eat an elephant one bite at a time. Do it in phases. And just go out and do it, man.
Man. Say yes to them ones.
Yeah. I say yes to the big ones. That's what I did. You know,
it hurt, dude. Early on, I would shuffle them off. Man, that shit hurt. I was just like, oh my gosh, it would kill me. And eventually, I got enough confidence by making connections like we've made. They're like, stop saying no to that. This is how you do it. Even if you don't have all that stuff, this is how you do it. And I was like, all right, well, we'll just start saying yes and figure it out.
Yeah. If it's a huge job, take a deposit.
Yeah.
Buy your sealer up front, you know.
Yeah. Rent the rig.
Rent the double wander. You know you're going to need to put down a lot of revenue. Whatever you got to do. So,
there's a solution and a way to do it. So
that's my advice, man. Just be hungry. You only get one life.
Yeah.
It's okay to fail.
Take a shot.
Just get after it, man.
Yeah. I think about that in our sense of like people that we know who really turn their foot in the sand and like, I'm going to go get it. I can't think of any of them that are in this industry that didn't make it. Right.
They had that scarcity mindset.
Yeah. Like I've never seen anybody who's like, all right, we're going to focus. We're going to make this happen, that don't make it happen. Right. I mean, we knew people when we were in BBSG, that year one, like made it happen because they were just like confident that we had all the advice and anything they needed to make it happen. And they just turned their foot in the sand and went after it. And I was like, it took me 10 years to be confident and smart enough and competent to be able to do that. And these guys that are really focused are making it happen. So it's really cool to see. It's really cool to see what y'all are doing here in Asphalt Authority. Thanks for getting me out to beautiful tropical Fort Wayne area, Indiana, and let me take a tour of the shop. And dude, we're just gonna keep following along and seeing what y'all do.
Awesome, dude.
All right,
Thanks for stopping by, bro.
Dude, I appreciate it. Absolutely.
Yes, sir.